Hello horse friends and welcome to the Imperfect Equestrian. It's another wet, windy, rainy day in Wales, and unfortunately I don't really feel like doing too much with the horses this weekend because it's been so awful and the land's quite damp. So what we're going to do is we're going to go give the horses some treats and say hello. We'll probably take the dogs for a walk down the bottom field. They don't mind getting a bit wet, and we'll go see what the other animals are doing as well. Let's go see what we can do.
You look so beautiful, and I'm so lucky to be yours. And you're taking me high. Ain't nobody like you. I'm not coming down. Ain't nobody like you. I could go 1,000 miles as long as I'm with you. Yeah, you're taking me high. Ain't nobody like you.
Although they did have the option of shelter, the horses had decided to stay outside and brave the Welsh weather. I think sometimes they're a bit braver than me with the weather. Look at the rain. Nothing stops them munching their grass though. The horses weren't the only ones that were bearing the weather. The sheep were outside putting up with everything as well. They're maybe a little more built for it though, with their thick woolly coats that are very, very dry on the inside. They will still go in search of shelter in the worst of the weather though. As I'm sheep spotting, Comanche comes to interrupt and say hello. Hello Comanche! After, I pop into the barn to see what my husband's been doing, and it looks like he's fixing our lawnmower. It's not been running properly, so he's just trying to diagnose what's wrong with it. I'm so lucky that he's able to put his mind to fixing anything really. We've got some new neighbours in front of the house. The cows are back. It's been a year since we've seen them in front of the house, but we really do enjoy stepping out the door and being able to see them there. I'm not sure what breed they are, but there's some lovely colours. Back in the barn, I can see that my husband's been able to fix the lawnmower and has parked it back in the corner. Well done, Pete. Let's go give some treats to the horses. I'm being mindful of Dreamer coming towards the horses. She's very brave with them, but sometimes too much so, and the horses don't always appreciate it. Dreamer, away. Fortunately for me, the rain has taken a break. I've brought down some herb cubes, which is one of their favourite treats, and there's plenty for both of them. I'll need to watch my fingers as they can both get a little overexcited. And some more? Hold on then, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. There you go. Oh, dropping them everywhere. One for Comanche. Good girl. How wet you are. Got your nicely fresh trimmed mane. Good girl. Good girl. Woohoo. Good girl. When we look at JJ's coat in the rain, we can see how wet it looks on top. But actually, if we lift bits, you can see it's really, really dry underneath. They have a really efficient coat for the rain. Don't you? Yes, you do. Let's go look at Comanche's coat. Again, looks very, very thick. He doesn't have as thick a coat as JJ, but we can just see, actually, it's still pretty dry at the base. You're trouble, aren't you? Yes, you are. So we can see that JJ's coat is a bit more efficient at keeping out the water than Comanche's, and she is actually a younger horse at about 10 years old, and Comanche is 21. So bearing in mind those factors, that come when it gets a lot colder in the winter, Comanche will definitely have to be wearing a rug, and JJ won't have to all the time, but we'll just see how the weather goes. The fjord horses are usually really good at living outside without rugs, no matter what the weather. With Comanche, it's most likely that I'm going to let his mane grow in a lot more for the winter as well, so that he'll get a lot more protection from the rain. He'll be able to drip down his neck. Even though the fjords have an upright mane, it's not so much of a problem because of how thick their coat gets compared to the Appaloosa. No matter the weather, they're always happy to be out eating grass. Right, let's take the dogs for a walk.
Captured in a photograph. Remember how we used to sit in the vines? Yeah, oh, and I can hear you laugh it off. You always said mistakes I left in the past. But no, I know enough to see the blow on us, we're over sooner than we're gone. And sometimes I think about it all night, staring to the streetlights, wonder where we'd be if nothing would have changed. We'd have stayed the same, never killed the flame. Would we hold our ground if nothing would have changed? Would you take my name, stay here through the rain? Would we hold our ground? Could we hold our ground? Could we hold our ground? Drawing from another time, brick walls of paint that spells out your name. Yeah. You said you had to change your heart, that Albany just left you all the same. I could see enough to know you're better off, but sometimes it hits you when it's gone. And all night I stare into that same light, reinventing our life. I wonder where we'd be if nothing would have changed. We'd have stayed the same, never killed the flame. Would we hold our ground if nothing would have changed? Would you take my name, stay here through the rain? Would we hold our ground? Could we hold our ground? Could we hold our ground? One and on the other side, parallel to our life, dreaming of a place to hide and find you in another time.
Now that the dogs have had a good run in the bottom field and are a little bit tireder, I can take you now to go meet the goats and we'll feed them. As you can see, most of the time they're grazing on the various plant life that lives within their paddock. But it's important that they get some extra feed for their nutrients. Tilly, Bambi, come on. Here they are. Oh, let me in. Let me in. What are you doing? Come on then, guys, some food. Good girl. You want some food? You want food? Oh, careful, Tilly. Good girls. Got some mummies. Silly Tilly. So when we first got the goats, Bambi was actually very, very nervous, and because she was so nervous, she got very scared of being in a different environment, and she managed to break out from the goat shed and kennel that we'd put around the run outside and get into this goat paddock. And the fence you see behind is 5 foot tall now. Ooh, silly Tilly. And when we first built it, it was only 4 foot tall, and she managed to jump over the 4 foot tall fence, and she ran away and ran off our farm and disappeared. So we spent about a week looking for her. We had people with search dogs and drones and all notices up on the local Facebook pages, and of course she was quite new here and scared, so it wasn't like if we saw her we'd just be able to catch her. And what actually happened was we had a few people see sightings of her and keep telling us where she was, so we kept trying to go find her. But actually, literally a week later on the Sunday, we had a call off a local farmer who said she'd fallen into a cattle grid and she was trapped underneath in the cattle grid. So she was able to move around in there and there was some stuff for her to eat in there, but she couldn't get back out again. So it was quite lucky for us really, because I think that's about the only way we would have got back hold of her. So we brought her back, made sure that the shed was all nice and secure again, and we hired the whole fence to 5 foot the whole way around. And now she stays in and she's got much more used to us and she's quite calm. And this is Tilly Goat, who He's very inquisitive and very friendly. You're friendly, aren't you? Yes. Good girl. Yes. So you can stroke Tilly Goat, but we still can't stroke Bambi. Good girl. Tilly Goat's quite young. She's only about 5 months old. And Bambi is just over 18 months old now. Well, I'll say goodbye from a still very wet Wales, and we'll see you again next time. Bye.